We're talking about change, we're talking about seasons, we're talking about forward progress. You know, there's a term in psychology that is referred to as arrested development. This is a term that applies to when a traumatic experience takes place in a person's life, where at that moment parts of the brain, the emotional makeup, literally shuts down and discontinues its developmental process. We also know that there are physiological, genetic issues that sometimes cause a body to stop developing properly. We know that in nature, when something stops growing, that we assume there's no life there, because here's what I want to share with you today. Living things grow and growing things change. You know, when you were conceived in your mother's womb, you were an embryo. You looked like a lizard. You and I both did. Nothing attractive about that. It's a beautiful process, but not necessarily what it's going to look like, because the seed of something never looks like the end product. The seed of an orange doesn't look like an orange. Matter of fact, the seed of an orange is not even consumable, because it takes time for that seed to go through its process, through its growth, to develop a tree, to produce fruit. Because living things grow and growing things change. I'm amazed that people go through the education system in our various countries. We graduate high school, maybe go to university, earn a degree, and that seems to be the place where we say, okay, now I've got a degree, I've got a piece of paper on the wall, everything's wonderful now, I'm saved, everything's great, I'm a Christian, praise Him, saints, and then we stop growing. We stop growing. And the moment we stop the personal development process, the moment we stop feeding our minds, nurturing our minds, fostering development and growth and forward progress and movement, then life begins to stop, because living things grow and growing things change. And here's why I think we get into this problem and this rut, is because by nature, there's something in us that wants to avoid change. We don't want to necessarily, we become comfortable with something, we become satisfied or content in our present state. We know intuitively there's more to life, that God has more for us, but in order for us to have the more, we have to change. And in order to avoid change, we just decide to not grow. And I want to say to you, that's no way to live intentionally. That is no way to actually develop life strategically. Living things grow, growing things change. So here's a little litmus test for you. Is your life presently growing emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, financially? Can you see quantifiable, measurable growth in these areas of your life? Academically, educationally, your knowledge base. Are you growing? Because if the answer to that question in any one area or all areas is no, then I would suggest to you that the life of God that He has planned for you is not actually manifesting at its fullest measure at this moment. Because if there's not growth, there's not life. Here's the piece. You will know a tree by its fruit. A tree that has no fruit is destined for death. Look at Jesus when He walks by the fig tree, and the fig tree answered Him. Here's God the Creator walking in human form. He didn't speak to the tree initially. The tree spoke to Him and said, I don't have anything for you. And because the tree refused to produce what it was designed to do, Jesus cursed it, and it dried and withered up. I don't want to see that happen to you. Certainly don't want to see that happen to my life. Living things grow, growing things change. So what must you change to have that life regenerated in you? How can you shake yourself from where you are, the rut you've maybe been in, and begin once again to engage the development process, the life process, the growth process, so that what God has intended for you can manifest at its fullest expression? That's what I believe for you. That's what I want to see. Living things grow, growing things change. My name is Brian Holmes. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.